What's the most ridiculous rule in your place of work? At my old job, ours held a meeting to tell us that there was too much swearing on the sales floor. Someone raised their hand and pointed out that swearing is very common in our industry and that is the way that our customers speak. Ours later sent out a memo explaining that swearing should be limited to conversations with clients. It was amazing. If you are stuck in traffic on the way to work, you must email the CEO. Phone calls and texts are not permitted, only email. It's not like this anymore, but for a while they attempted to have a dress code. Guys had to wear collared shirts, but Hawaiian style shirts were totally acceptable. You could not wear jean shorts, but jean overall shorts were okay. I got sent home one day because my shorts weren't fingertip length. We were tech support. No one ever saw us. That was the best part. Edit. Because everyone is asking, fingertip length meant standing with your arms at your sides, and your shorts had to be longer than where your fingertips ended. Think grade school rules. Not my current job, but I used to work for some crazy people. You had to stand in a specific area while eating so they could see you on the camera. Don't talk to customers longer than 3 minutes unless you're making a big sale. Even then, keep it short. Answer the phone with interrings. Keep the conversation to less than 30 seconds. You can't talk to your coworkers outside of work. You can't talk to your coworkers while at work, even if there was not a single customer in the store. I'm sure there's more I just can't think of right now. This handbook can be changed without notice at the company's discretion. So, medical leave. 3 days medical leave per year. Fine. I'll use my PTO and expect to get disability for the remaining time. After I have major surgery, an addendum. 2 weeks later, medical leave for surgery must have written documentation from a doctor outlining your recovery schedule and when you may return to work. When I return, on a limited schedule, 6 weeks later, the hour manager comes into my office. You didn't have the authorization letter before surgery, so you better be here or face the unfortunate circumstance of disciplinary action. While I'm at it, since I'm under contract for 5 years, does anybody know about the legal definition of peonage? Had a workplace time our bathroom breaks and deduct them from our allotted 15-minute breaks or lunch. We had to go see the office manager to get a key to open the restroom. As soon as we left his office he would start a timer. When you got back he would stop the timer and tell you how much time you needed to deduct from your lunch or next break. They watched our breaks like a hawk. Also, if you made a mistake they would stand over you and time you while you fixed it and deduct that from your lunch or breaks. You couldn't bring anything that smells for lunch, and they had no way of heating anything up. I worked out my contract and split. Men can't wear shorts. However, women can wear dresses and skirts. What the fuck do they think? We are all walking around with monster darlings that would hang out of the bottom of our shorts. It's hot and I want to wear shorts. Our workplace started a friendly post-it war with the office across the street that went on for about half a day. Honestly, all of the pictures were safe. Just Metroid Samus, Mario, images, super basic stuff. The pieces were getting pretty good too, and it was clear both offices were having a blast thinking of the next fun design. Our CEO walked by around 4 PM that day, saw the post-it art, and asked what it was. We exclaimed, "Oh, just a post-it war with that office. Would you like to join us in the next mural?" She said she didn't get it. She didn't get the concept of the post-it war. So, we spent a few minutes trying to explain what it was about. You make art out of post-it notes, and whoever has the best mural wins. Pretty simple stuff. She kind of laughed it off, but it was clear to all of us that she still didn't quite understand why someone would do it. What a silly millennial thing, she must have thought. The next morning, an office memo was on every desk saying that no one was allowed to put post-its on windows. We had to take all of our art down. When we asked the office manager WTF we did wrong, she explained that the CEO quite literally still didn't understand it and banned post-its for that reason. Edit. This happened days before Christmas last year. The holiday party was that evening. The next day, Friday, nearly everyone was out to start their vacations. It was very clear that we were not interrupting a busy work day by spending lunch making a few murals. We are not some band of idiots that can't understand the meaning of a productive workday. Our CEO was just a straight up Grinch. I work from home. On Tuesdays the gardener and maid are here, so I have to wear pants. The VP of our company just held a mass meeting to tell all of us we can't have pictures, or plants or food or any form of non-office supplied object on our desk. Tons of coworkers have family pictures or their kids' finger paintings pinned up on the cubicle walls. All that has to be removed. People were pissed. Former job. You couldn't eat at your desk. The team managers however were pretty tolerant. On a hot day they would sometimes even hand out popsicles. The regulation people, who were especially in charge on the weekends, when no team managers were around, were very strict with this. A colleague of mine was shouted at because she ate a small pretzel, which was her breakfast. Then again, some colleagues would casually eat a whole pizza or kebab while making a huge mess. Not current job, but at my last job at a store/cafe, an unspoken rule, as in me and my manager were never told this by our boss, was that we were not allowed to let a health inspector see anything that they come to inspect while still getting a good grade. We followed health and safety laws, but our bosses didn't. We were one of the smaller stores/cafes in this chain of 20+ stores and cafes. The health inspector must have realized that it was the company's fault for all the health and safety breaches because we, the staff, were given near full marks on the staff's health and safety responsibilities, but the boss's responsibilities was a different story. No fly killer in store, despite them being attracted by our bakery part and us having a fly killer out back for over a month, but no one was ever sent to install it. No mouse/rat traps, only one sink. Law requires two, one for hands and one for dishes. No hot water. The counter where we put coffee down wasn't nailed down, and we actually had a customer attempt to sue over a spilt coffee. Some of our bakery was expired, but we were made to put it out because according to our company's food manager, they looked okay, so they must be okay. The list goes on. Our manager ended up showing the health inspector months of emails and texts and WhatsApp messages informing the bosses of these health and safety breaches and asking them to be fixed, all of which were promptly ignored. Later that day our boss calls and screams over the phone at my manager, tells him that it's all our fault and it's our job to make sure the health inspector never finds out about all that. Over the next week she comes in every single day where she just watches us work from the office on the security cameras and gives out at us for every little thing and makes a massive deal over everything. Like for example, I had a mini sneezing fit one of those days and was yelled at in front of customers because I was going to infect everyone and all our food. Glad to be out of that hellhole. Last I heard a few of the stores she manages, 4 to 5 store managers quit all in 1 week while she was on holidays, so she took over managing those stores, are failing with massive sales drops and mass employee quitting ever since she took over them. Hope to God she loses her job. Previous job, given a tablet and a locker, had to look for a desk to sit on every morning. Stupid, caused unnecessary friction, waste of time, inefficient, and many occupied the same desk every day anyway. They piled junks on their desks so no one else dared to sit. Once my manager had mental breakdown, he hid another floor away from us. It was ridiculous having to walk that far to get to him multiple times a day. Former job at a law office. One of the partners sent an email to the entire staff that employees were not allowed to gossip in the building. What was everyone gossiping about, you ask? Oh, said partner was divorcing his wife and sleeping with one of the associate attorneys in the firm. But, you know, don't gossip. I work for the federal government, so there are tons and tons of rules. Most of them are there for good reasons. The one I really hate, though, is that we have to pay to join the water cooler club to use the water cooler. It's like $30 every month or two. Like, I get it. Taxpayers shouldn't be on the hook for extravagant purchases, and there are certain perks you get in the private sector that you don't get in the public sector, and vice versa. I just don't think it's the height of decadence to want decent water. They say we can just use the fountains, but the fountains are disgusting. This isn't the local post office either. This is a major department's main building in DC.